How high should you go with your handlebars? Catch you inside.
RevelatorAlf.
Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. Hope you're enjoying the channel and the series of videos. Please like, share, subscribe, leave loads of comments below. Check out the website RevelatorAlf.com. So in this video I'm talking about motorcycles in general, but for me obviously I'm talking about the Harley Davidson, the Softail range, and what I ride is the Sport Glide. One of the things that I decided to do when I first got the Sport Glide was to not modify it in any way, not change your handlebars. However, I said right at the very start that I wasn't going to be keen on the handlebar positioning, on the height. I actually wanted to go for higher bars, mini Ape Hangers, let's say an extra 10, 12, 14 inches, something like that. And so that would bring my hand height up to my shoulder height, because that's where I thought I'd be most comfortable. But what I wanted to do was actually ride the bike first of all and see how I got on with it. Well, a few months down the line and my opinion has completely changed. The ergonomics of the bike, the way I fit the bike, is actually a lot better now. I'm a lot more comfortable with a lower handlebar height. In fact, the stock height that it's set at works well for me. If I were to say anything, possibly add another inch, an inch and a half, 2 inches to raise it up a little bit. Would I change the style of bar? Yes, I would. I'd probably go for a drag bar type, something like that. And I've seen quite a few on the market. They look really great. But I wouldn't go any higher than that. And what I've really noticed, especially on my long distance rides, or also on the rides when I'm riding very challenging weather conditions, that actually having my hands a little bit lower down, I'm more in a rested position. Even with my back, I'm more of a rested position than if I'm up here high. This is just a personal choice. So the question is, when should you change your handlebars and at what height should you go? Because everybody is going to be different. Now, what you've got to do, obviously, factor in for any handlebar height change is at some point, will the existing cabling, electrical connectors, will it be long enough to accommodate the new height of the bar? Will you need an extension kit for your electrical, for your clutch cable, everything like that? Or will it suffice? Will you still have full range of movement without any of the cables pinching, electrical pinching, that kind of thing as well? So that's something you've got to factor in. I think you can actually, on the Sport Glide, for example, you can actually raise it up to about 5-6 inches, possibly that's another 2-3 inches maximum above what it is at currently, and therefore you won't need any cable extension or electrical wiring extension. Anything more than that you're going to need the cable extension kit. So you're really ramping up the price of any handlebar height. You're talking in the region, if a Harley dealership were to do it, you're talking in the region about possibly £1,000, £800, £1,000. It really obviously depends on the type of handlebars that you go for and the work that needs to be done. You may need to change the risers, so on and so forth. You're going to have to change grips, all that kind of thing. You know, the prices start stacking up, and you may not need to do it. You may not need to do it because actually having a really high bar may work for some people, but may not work for another person. Here's the thing I think you've got to really factor in is what kind of riding are you most likely to be doing? Are you commuting? Are you doing longer distances? Or are you just doing short distances? Are you just going for a bit of fun? Are you the kind of rider who really just likes the cool look, as in inverted commas cool, and you're not really interested in the comfort so much? Well, if that's the case, then going for an outlandish, high Ape Hangers might be suitable for you, of course, or anything that is marginally out of your comfort zone might work better because you like the aesthetics of it. But be under no illusion. If you're going to go for that option, then possibly your endurance capability on that bike, your long distance riding on that bike is going to be severely affected. Now, there are ways to counteract that, of course. You can just stop at regular intervals, you can take regular breaks, all that kind of stuff. But at some point, you will feel increasingly uncomfortable with that riding position. For me, the riding position is, one of the most important factors of riding a motorcycle. It is the one thing that I focus on the most. How I fit the bike. What can I do to make minor changes that will not only improve my riding experience, but also make my riding experience more comfortable so that I can focus more. Now, I tend to do a lot of long distance riding. I tend to do a lot of riding in inclement weather. In fact, that's where I prefer to ride in many ways. So actually taking the time to really analyze the bike and decide on what I need and what I don't need is really important for me. What I've decided to do is that when I actually decide to go for a bar change, which I will because I'm not necessarily so keen on the style of the stock Sport Glide bars, I will go for a little bit higher, maybe some 5-inch risers, something like that, 6-inch risers, maybe just bring the bar height just about an inch and a half higher than the top of the fairing, and that's it. And that will bring my hand height from about this position on me, from this position to about this position, and that's about it. I'm still going to be really comfortable on that ride, and I'm still going to have the full control and mobility of that. I thought, as I said, that a high handlebar would work for me, but I found it just is not going to be that. I've sat on a few with high handlebars. I've sort of measured myself repeatedly. I think I've worn out my welcome at my local Harley dealership by just keep on going in and discussing different options, endlessly looking at catalogues of different bar suppliers. Would I like that? Would I like that? What about this rise? Whatever. At the end of the day, I think, that for me is going to be the most important thing, is actually having the looks right, the aesthetics right, but also the functionality. It's got to work well for me. And I think maybe that's what you've got to consider as well, is will these bars work for you? But the most important thing to remember is what kind of riding are you going to be doing primarily. If you're just going to be doing a few miles here or there, it's maybe not even your primary bike, it's your second bike that you're going to be bar hopping on, go to the odd cafe here and there, just going out and have a bit of fun. Yeah, I would accept go for the looks more than the function. But if it's going to be more of your primary mode of transport, if it's going to be the one that you're going to be riding all sorts of distances, maybe you're going to go on a long tour, a long distance ride for whatever reason, I think, focus on the comfort, the rider comfort, your rider position, and are you going to be able to ride that for a long time? That's the most important thing. But as I say, for me, I wanted to not have the modification straight away. I wanted to judge the bike first of all. I know lots of you will actually buy your bike already modified, or you will actually buy a brand new bike and have the modifications you feel are important straight away. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer here. It's entirely up to you, of course. All I can say is for me, I wanted to wait, and I'm glad I waited because my opinion has completely changed from when I first was thinking about getting the bike and when I first got the bike to where I am now, just a few months down the line, and I know exactly the kind of bars and the height of bars that I want because I've ridden it for a while and I can see what is the most comfortable. But anyway, let me know what you think. Let me know when it's the right time to change your bars, what sort of bars you're going to go for, what height of bars in relationship to your shoulders. Are you going to bring your hand height all the way up? Is it going to be all the way up there like that? Or are you going to have it a little bit further down? Now, obviously, I appreciate that in certain parts of the world, let's say in certain states in the United States, for example, there are regulations about bar height as well. So you can't ride with a motorcycle with bars too high. And I know that's similar to other parts of the world as well. So you know there's legislation to factor in, of course, but also there is personal choice and comfort as well. But let me know what you think. And let me know what is important to you when you're choosing bars, but also about rider comfort as well. Anyway, please like, share, subscribe, leave loads of comments below. Check out the website at RevelatorAlf.com, and I'll catch you on the next video. Well, coming very, very soon. Ta-da!
RevelatorAlf.